bear with us, and thank you for your time. We'll resume very shortly. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, all. We are going to start the event. Honorable Union Minister for Power and Renewable Energy, Sri R.K. Singh Ji. Honorable Minister of State Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology, Dr. Jiten Singh Ji. Secretary, Power Secretary, MNRE Secretary, DST, all delegates, the country representatives who have joined on a virtual mode, senior officials from different ministries of Government of India, think tanks, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed pleasure that this year India will be hosting the chairship of Clean Energy Ministerial and Mission Innovation. So today we will be launching the website and the logo that will facilitate the further processing of registration and all other formalities so that all of you can join us in Goa, the Clean Energy Ministerial, in the 3rd week of July. I once again welcome you all, and we will start the event. So, okay. As you all know, that the Clean Energy Ministerial was formed in 2009 as a government platform, starting with about 20 countries. Now it has reached to 29 member countries. India is the founding member and also hosted the 4th Clean Energy Ministerial in 2013 in New Delhi. After the Paris Agreement, or during the Paris Agreement, Honorable Prime Minister of Government of India, Sri Narendra Modi, also coined this name Mission Innovation, which was launched in 2015. And from 2016 onwards, the Mission Innovation is also being observed and celebrated alongside Clean Energy Ministerial. So far, we have already witnessed 13 Clean Energy Ministerial and 7 Mission Innovation till last year, 2022. The ministerial event last year was organized in Pittsburgh, hosted by United States. And from this year, India has assumed the chairship. As you all know, in the Pittsburgh event, we had also displayed the video from Honorable Power Minister and also Honorable Minister of State Independent Charge, Dr. Jiten Singh, at Pittsburgh, inviting you all for this year's Clean Energy Ministerial and Mission Innovation in Delhi, sorry, in Goa in the month of July. So this year we are going to have a Power Pack program for 4 days. That's from 19th to 22nd of July in a beautiful city of Goa. We will have different events like ministerial plenary, then technology showcase, the CEO and minister dialogues, that is roundtable. We will have side events on thematic areas, and also there will be different announcements and awards. To begin with, we are going to have a joint plenary in Clean Energy Ministry and Mission Innovation that will be held on 21st. It will also be followed by various announcements and launches, and there will be a complete 4-day program. In the ministerial, we are expecting 29 CEM delegate CEM member countries ministers and 24 MI ministers. Apart from that, we will have 10 heads of international organizations. We are planning for 6 closed-door roundtables. It will be invited where the ministers and CEOs can exchange on different policies and innovations which can be scaled up for deploying clean energy technologies. The proposed topics are here, like biofuels, hydrogen, one nation, one grid, etc. Sorry, one solar, one grid. As regard to side events, we are putting almost a slot of 60 to 65 side events. We have received more than 100 proposals, out of which about 76 from SEM side and 25 from MI side. We have shortlisted about 35 SEM events, 15 MI events, and there are 10 overlapping events where both the delegates can join. We are also going to have a technology showcase in a huge area, which is very close to the proposed venue. There we will also we will have different display of models and innovations from different countries. So we are all inviting you to Goa. We also wish to inform you that this year this ministerial will be held back to back with the energy transition ministerial meeting of G20. As you all know, India is also holding the presidency of G20. So this year's event is quite significant in terms of scaling up our all efforts in clean energy, and we all expect you to be there in Goa and heartily welcome you. Now I will move on to our reflection from the MI and CEM Secretariat. Let me introduce Dr. Pasun Agrawal, Head of CEM Secretariat. Over to you, Pasun.
Thank you, Mr. Bakri. Shri R.K. Singh Ji, Honorable Minister, Power, New and Renewable Energy. Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister for State for Science and Technology. Secretary, Ministry of Power, Secretary MNRE, Secretary Department of Science and Technology, senior officials from Government of India, distinguished colleagues. Namaskar and a very good afternoon. The world is undertaking the fastest and most far-reaching energy transition in history. And the Clean Energy Ministerial, as a high-level global forum, is accelerating this transition by promoting policies and programs that advance clean energy deployment. As Mr. Bakri said, the driving force behind the CEM is the global clean energy community. The powerful combination of CEM's 29 member countries, including India as a founding member, and its partner and implementing organizations, which include businesses, industry, multilateral agencies, and technical institutions. One of CEM's greatest assets is its ability to convene at the political level through its annual ministerial meeting to get the leadership and vision from our ministers, and then combine that with year-round implementation and technical activities in the form of initiatives and campaigns. And this year, India will be hosting the 14th Clean Energy Ministerial meeting. And what makes this meeting special is that it will be organized back-to-back with the G20 Energy Transition Ministerial meeting in Goa. This provides energy ministers and their delegations a very rich program of high-level and technical events during their visit to Goa for the G20 meetings. India's hosting of CEM meeting together with G20 is also a very unique precedence, building a strong link between political commitment on the G20 side and on-ground action and implementation on the CEM side. And we are very confident this precedent set by India will be carried forward by Brazil, who also hosts both G20 and CEM presidency next year. Distinguished dignitaries, the CEM ministerial meeting is a key moment in the global clean energy calendar to take stock of the progress made and to identify decisive actions to advance the global clean energy transition. This is also a moment for the host country to showcase its clean energy efforts and achievements, of which India has many, of course. And for those reasons, the global clean energy community is very excited and eagerly looking forward to come together under India's leadership this year in Goa for the largest clean energy gathering of the year. In the weeks ahead, we at the Secretariat will continue to work closely with Ministry of Power and the Bureau of Energy Efficiency to prepare an impactful and exciting program of side events, technical discussions. And I would like to finish by thanking Government of India for inviting us all to this launch ceremony, and also for making arrangements for virtual participation of international delegates. Let me now hand over to my colleague, Eleanor Webster, Head of Mission Innovation Secretariat. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasoon, and thank you ever so much for the opportunity to introduce myself and to be here in this conversation. Thank you. I want to start by thanking the Department of Science and Technology for hosting a Mission Innovation delegation in February, which was a very productive trip. And we're very excited about the collaboration that we're forging with the Department of Science and Technology and looking ahead to the ministerial in July. Collectively, Mission Innovation and CEM are uniquely positioned to bring countries together on accelerating a successful just transition from research and development through to employment. India were one of the main countries championing MI when it was created at COP21, as we have heard already, and have continued to make a significant contribution to Mission Innovation across the work programme since then. We look forward to an impactful ministerial and the unique opportunity to be linked to the G20 presidency. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Now may I request Secretary DST to say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Honourable Minister for Power, New and Renewable Energy, Honourable Minister for Science and Technology, friends who joined online and all the secretaries who are here, greetings to all of you. Since the inception, India has played a very critical role in the mission innovation programs, and I'm very happy that Department of Biotechnology and Department of Science and Technology have been working together on this program collectively. Our whole objective has been how we can make renewable energy affordable, because if affordability is not there, even though it is clean, it will be difficult for us to implement. And our all R&D efforts have been on how we can make it affordable. I'm very happy that the mission innovation engagements brought all of us together as stakeholders to agree on priorities, address essential areas of gap, promote innovation, and explore opportunities. And this Mission Innovation 2.0 would be helping India to coordinate among the line departments to unlock the clean energy transition pathways. In the Mission Innovation 2.0, we have already launched many programs: the carbon dioxide removal mission, the clean hydrogen mission, the green power future mission, integrated biorefineries mission, net zero industrial mission, urban transitions mission, and zero emission for shipping transportation. I'm sure this innovation platform, consisting of three modules, namely the Insight, Collaborate, and Accelerate, have also been launched to enhance the global confidence in emerging the clean energy solutions. Currently, India also holds the G20 presidency, and we're very happy to host the joint event of the 8th Mission Innovation Ministerial and 14th Clean Energy Ministerial meeting during 19/20th on the sidelines of the G20 Energy Transition Ministerial meeting in Goa. On behalf of the ministry, I welcome all of you for the important meeting. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request Secretary Power Shri Alok Kumarji to say a few words.
Thank you, Abhay. Honorable Minister Power Shri R.K. Singh Saab, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for DST, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, my colleagues, Secretary MNRE, Secretary DST, and all senior officers from ministries and Government of India. It's a great pleasure to be here in this launch program. Let me say a few things on this occasion. India has been a world leader in energy transition. And it is a matter of pleasure that in this context, India is host and is the presidency for both, for the G20 as well as for the CEM and MI. Sir, I will also like to emphasize that in the whole fight for the climate change, against climate change, energy transition has a very special and very significant role. Whatever we do in the energy sector or we don't do, it will impact our success or failure in the fight against climate change. Sir, while the G20 is a government-to-government political forum, and it brings about the broad consensus on the general approach and the strategies. The action forums are the CEM and MI. The Clean Energy Ministerial is the one which brings into the whole clean energy community, not only the policy makers, the government representatives, but also the think tanks, academia, industry. And one more important thing is that the energy transition can't be taken forward without the innovation and technology. We have to find new solutions to make clean energy affordable for humanity. So innovation and technology has a special role. So the hosting together the Clean Energy Ministerial and Mission Innovation is also as important as hosting the CEM along with G20. And sir, India has been in a leadership position in CEM. I am told that we had led the global lighting challenge, which leads to large-scale deployment of the LEDs all across the world. Now, India is also spearheading the International Smart Grid Action Network. So, and India is participating very proactively in several other work streams. So, it will be a great occasion for us to assemble again in Goa and to take forward this work, very important work on energy transition. That's all from my side, and once again I invite you to all join us in the Goa meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now this is the moment which we are waiting. Can I have the presentation on the launch of? So may I request honorable ministers to reveal the logo and the website. अच्छा ठीक है. So this is the logo, sir. Next, please. Yeah, sir. Logo. So we are also launching the website. We are pleased to next website also, and a few slides. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Better. This website now will be operational in this weekend, and the registration can start now, and it will give all details about the venue, the programs, etc. Thank you, both the ministers, sir. Now may I request Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for Science and Technology, Government of India, to kindly address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister for Power and Renewable Energy, Shri R.K. Singh Ji, Secretaries from the Ministry of Power, Ministry of Renewable Energy, Department of Science and Technology. At the outset, I have to compliment all of you and also myself for the launch of this website, because all of us are part of it, and the launch of this new logo. The first that occurs to me is that 2023 happens to be a very remarkable year for India in more ways than one. This is the year when we are hosting G20 under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. This also happens to be the International Year of Millets, which is one of the staple food in large parts of the country, and the proposal also came at the behest of India. This is the second time in 9 years that UN has acknowledged us this way, earlier being the International Day of Yoga, which is being observed on the 21st of June. And incidentally, it's rather a very auspicious coincidence that we are also hosting the Mission Innovation Ministerial Meet this year, as was being mentioned by the Director General, in the third week of July in Goa. And one more pleasant coincidence associated with this is, as I think was being mentioned by Dr. Chandrasekhar, is that Mission Innovation is the name which was coined by Prime Minister Modi in 2015. And today, this Mission Innovation Group has enlarged into about 23 countries, as well as the European Union. And in the first phase of the Mission Innovation, India had envisaged for itself the challenges like smart grids, off-grid accesses, the funding opportunities, financial and technical contribution to the global cooling, and also hosted quite a few workshops on analysis and joint research groups. Now we are into the second phase, and the second phase action for the decade 2021 to 2030 would envisage primarily the clean energy goal. And when I was going through the literature, because I'm sorry, I don't read all the talking points given to me. I talk on my own also sometimes. So it occurred to me that we are into 3 A's: affordable, accessible, and attractive sources of energy. And when we move in that direction, obviously, we have to collaborate jointly amongst all of us to achieve the ultimate goals of mission innovation. And also, as the Prime Minister himself has committed the net zero target for ourselves for 2070. Presently, India has the distinction of being one of the co-leads in the integrated biorefinery mission, member of the clean and hydrogen mission. The clean hydrogen mission was the one which was announced by Prime Minister Modi from the ramparts of Red Fort during his Independence Day address. And the manner in which we are going forward, I hope one day we will be one of the major exporters of green hydrogen. We are also core coalition member of the Green Powered Future Mission, also core group member of Zero Emissions. The significance of saying all this is that now India has taken a lead role in this movement for clean energy. So I think for the first time after 7 decades, India has resolved to contribute to the global challenges. These are some of the areas which were considered oblivious to India and Indians, and some of the Western powers didn't consider much of India's view or contribution into these sectors. But now that we are heading towards being a frontline nation, and therefore we have accepted to take on global challenges, live up to the global benchmarks, and be a part of the global growth. And most importantly, India's declaration of intent, as I would put it, is reaching a non-fossil fuel energy capacity of 500 gigawatt by 2030, 50% energy requirements to be filled by 2030, reducing carbon dioxide emissions by 1 billion tons by 2030, 45% reduction in carbon density by 2030, and, as I said, net zero by 2070. And therefore, advancing the continuum of R&D towards pilot demonstration of clean energy technologies is what we were looking forward to when we worked together. We are now a part of the global world, so there is no option but to come out of silos and collaborate together. And I'm glad that we are now ready to take on or share this responsibility of the new challenges that lie ahead. And the advantage of being in Ministry of Science and Technology is that it is always a cousin or a lesser cousin of many other ministries, whether it's MI-8, whether it's renewable energy, whether it's MORTH, because something or the other comes in, or railways. So I'm glad that I'm here in the company of the colleagues of the Ministry of Power and our very dear colleague and senior R.K. Singh ji. We look forward to be there and meeting again in Goa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and guidance. Now may I request Honorable Union Minister for Power and Energy, Shri R.K. Singh ji, to give the keynote address on this occasion. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. My esteemed colleague and the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, the Secretary, Ministry of Power, the Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, the Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Our country, has had a long tradition of venerating the environment, I would call it. We set great store by our environment. We have, on a per capita basis, I think one of the lowest per capita emissions in the world. Despite that, we have emerged as one of the leaders in energy transition. In COP21 in Paris, various countries had laid down their NDCs. Now, we had pledged that by 2030, 40% of our power generation capacity will come from non-fossil fuels. And I'm happy to report to you that we achieved this target in 2021, November, which is a good 9 years in advance of the target date. Today, our total non-fossil capacity, which includes solar, wind, hydro, and very small quantity of nuclear, is somewhere in the region of about 174 gigawatts, 174,000 megawatts. Out of that, just about 6,800 megawatts would be nuclear. The remaining is solar, wind, hydro, biomass, etc. And that's this constitutes about 43% of our total established capacity. So we crossed that. The NDC pledge which we had made that we shall achieve this by 2030, and that's why we upped our ambition in Glasgow when we said that now we up our ambition that to the fact that by 2030, 45% of our capacity will come from non-fossils. At the rate at which we are going, In fact, we shall cross that by a good margin. My assessment is that we shall have at least 65% of our capacity coming from non-fossils by 2030. And that's the pace at which we are adding capacity. We are the fastest growing renewable energy capacity, one of the fastest growing renewable energy capacities in the world. The Bloomberg called us the most attractive destination for investment in renewables in the world. Basically the pace of capacity addition grows and continues growing despite the disruptions of COVID. We have continued growing. Our capacity has continued growing. Similarly, in reduction of emissions, we had pledged that we'll reduce our emissions intensity by 33%, 30 to 35% by 2030. Now we are already, this is the year of the Lord 23, and we've already reduced our emissions intensity by about 30%. So we'll again cross that. That's why we again upped our ambition in Glasgow, and we said that by 2030 we'll reduce the emissions intensity for economy by 45%. So we have emerged as a leader in energy transition. That's because we believe in the environment. Despite our per capita emissions being the lowest, one of the lowest in the world, our pace of energy transition is one of the fastest. Some of our programs are actually world leader programs, whether it's the program for changing the lighting systems to LED, whether it's the program for reduction of specific energy consumption as well as specific emissions from industry, our Perform Achieve Create program. Now, in just its third cycle, it has resulted in a reduction of CO2 emissions of 106 million tons per annum. So that's the program for industry. We have a program for appliances, which has resulted in a reduction of CO2 emissions by 53 million tons per annum. We have, as I said, the LED that has resulted in a reduction of CO2 emissions by 102 million tons per annum. So, despite the fact that we have one of the lowest per capita emissions in the world, and despite the fact that we have been responsible for adding for only about 3% of the legacy carbon dioxide load which is there in the environment. This, we have a population of over 17.5% of the world, but we have contributed only 3% to the legacy carbon dioxide load. Despite all this, we have emerged as a leader in climate action, in energy transition, and we aim to continue to be so. We aim to continue to be a leader in climate action because, as I said, we have a long tradition of consideration for the environment, and that's our belief has been our belief. Similarly, we launched this green hydrogen mission. The Prime Minister launched the green hydrogen mission, and that has taken off. Incidentally, our costs of green hydrogen will be one of the lowest in the world because our costs of renewable energy are one of the lowest in the world. Today, our cost of setting up 1 megawatt of solar capacity is just about $600,000, and therefore our cost of green hydrogen will be, $2.5 as I see it. So it will be the most competitive insofar as green hydrogen is concerned. Now, of course, different narratives have been emerging from green hydrogen. Now our narrative is clean hydrogen, and the third narrative now is low carbon hydrogen. But this is something which needs to be discussed. It needs to be discussed in the G20 fora. It needs to be discussed in the Clean Energy Ministerial as to what is the direction which we are taking, which we propose to take. As far as we are concerned, we believe in green hydrogen. That means the lowest carbon content. What green hydrogen means? That hydrogen which is made entirely from renewables. And we believe that ultimately that is what has to prevail if we want to go to net zero. Net zero means net zero. It does not mean low carbon. Net zero means net zero. Now, these are issues which need discussion. And I believe that the Clean Energy Ministerial will provide us a forum for the discussion. There are, there are various challenges which are coming up as we transition. And we are being one of the leaders in energy transition, we are meeting those challenges. One challenge, of course, is regarding the standards. So we need to have common standards. If we want to international trade in green hydrogen, we need to have common standards. So we need to get together and formulate common standards. We also need to make to be certain that the trade is free and open, as the world has always been saying, that there should be no protectionism. Now, you can't have protectionism if you want the whole world to go green. Protectionism is anathema to the concept of the whole world going green. And if the whole world doesn't go green, then one or two countries going green doesn't make a difference. And so basically the whole world will have to go green. So these are things which we need to address in the Clean Energy Ministerial. As far as innovation is concerned, the whole exercise of shifting towards a non-fossil world is actually a mission in innovation, because the whole, that embraces the whole gamut of our existence. When we talk about going non-fossil, going towards less carbon to zero carbon, it requires innovation across a number of fields. If you need green steel, you need innovation. If you need green fertilizers, you need innovation. You need green aluminum, you need innovation. So we have to make sure that all our feedstock also becomes green. Of course, electricity will be green. We are greening our electricity, but the feedstock also has to become green. And in all these spheres, in the round-the-clock renewable energy, again, innovation is required. So innovation is tied up with our transition to a new world, to a brave new world, which is, the climate friendly, which is environment friendly, which ensures that this planet, the only planet which we have, does not sort of go bust on us. Innovation is the key to achieving all this, and in all the spheres, innovation will play a major role. We need to work together on this. As I said, it's the only planet. All of us have a stake in it, and unless and until all of us work together, I mean, the planet will not come to net zero. That is given. And I don't think that mankind has any other option except working together on this. So I look forward to meeting all of us meeting again in Goa, in the Clean Energy Ministerial, in the Mission Innovation, and talk about ways and means and alternatives. For example, let's storage. Now we have right now the lithium ion. I believe that sodium ion can be an alternative which will be more easily available to the whole world, so that we'll have diversified supply chains. That again is a critical thing. Now, all these factors need to be discussed, and we need to work out a strategy for mankind. So when we get together, we are actually discussing strategies for the humankind and how to make sure that we leave behind a workable planet for the following generations. Congratulations for launching your website logo. We look forward to meaningful discussions in the coming CEM and Mission Innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your guidance, and we'll further seek your guidance for this mega event in July. Now, I hand over to Dr. Anita Gupta, Advisor DST, for the vote of thanks and the concluding remarks. Thank you. Over to you, madam.
On behalf of Department of Science and Technology, Mission Innovation, Clean Energy Ministerial Joint Organizing Group, we are very thankful to the Honorable Minister of Power and MNRE, Dr. R.K. Singh ji, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jiten Singh ji, for having spared their valuable time and have raised this event of launch of website as well as the logo for Joint Ministerial, which is upcoming in at least 7 weeks from now. We are fortunate that we have 3 secretaries present today, which actually signify the pillars of clean energy. Mr. Alok Kumar, Secretary Power, Mr. B.S. Bhalla from MNRE, our Secretary, Dr. S. Chandrasekhar, who have been supporting and guiding us throughout our journey of Mission Innovation Phase 2. We are also thankful to all the senior officials who are present here representing various departments. Special thanks to Mr. Ajay Bhakre and his team, CEM and MI Secretariat team, my own colleagues from DST who have been working continuously through sustained efforts and with the clear passion in mind. And as all reiterated by all of you here, clean energy is vital to mitigation of climate change. And finally, I'm also thankful to all the dignitaries, officials, international delegates representing various member countries who have joined virtually and present with us in this launch event today. So having said that, like the upcoming event, which we all look forward to, will not only provide a platform to reinforce our commitments and also cement our long-term partnerships, but will also accelerate the actionable pathways, which we all know is so very crucial for a cleaner and greener planet and a future which we want to leave. And innovation being central for energy transition, energy technology. So a lot of promise and potential holds as we move forward, driven by research, innovation, large-scale deployments, as a decade of action entails all these activities. So with these words, I thank you all. And my final words would be, since the registration process will finally begin, any of the delegate which finds any issues in terms of planning the visits, registration or visa related, accommodation related, we are there. They can reach out to us and we'll be happy to facilitate all and resolve their problems. Thank you.